What's up, ecosystem? Hey, are we live? I think we're live. Okay, good. Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in logistics news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, you can skip ahead if you're watching on demand using the clickable video timecode links in the video description below. Please do go ahead and use those and leave a comment. Remember to like, share, tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI. We sure do appreciate it. Dealers, consignors, remarketers, lenders, fleet management companies, vehicle recon, car repossession, transportation, vehicle inspections, CR grades, payments, titling, fees, arbitration, technology. What makes your auction the place clients want to bring their business? That's tonight's discussion on the Auction Remarketing Mavericks panel, which includes Dave Sutton, VP of Business Development at Mottway, Rich Levene, VP of Leadership Development at Dignity Leadership, James Raymond, Regional Sales Director, ACV Auctions, and Skye Haulman, Founder and CEO, One Auction View. Plus, Thompson is in the building, so please join the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, break out of your vertical, because it's Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. I'm your host. Welcome back to the show. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for taking the time to join us again on a Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Nights Live, and we're doing another auction show. So, Auction Remarketing Mavericks. What makes your auction the place where clients want to do business? So, let's jump into the show lineup. Please, first of all, please do feel welcome here on ATI. If it's your first time, please do say hello. If it's your last time, go ahead and say hello. We're going to go into the live chat here in a few minutes and check in with everybody in the community, what's going on. If you got a question, if you got a thought, if you got an idea, a suggestion, there is obviously so much happening all the time. If you got a news article, a tidbit, share it. Because we're going to go into industry news at the quarter hour. And I love industry news. I love it and I hate it, because I spend, it's not all day, but it's hours grinding through these news articles. What do I share? What do I point out? How much of the article do I read? And yeah, there's just, and then organizing, it's really a lot. So hopefully you find it helpful. And in fact, let your business development department know, listen, man, you can just tune in. Jay's got your industry news if you don't have time. So that's pretty cool. We're going to bring in Ty after we do two parts of industry news, plus a quiz show in between. And Ty is going to help me set up. Ty loves the auction and loves the dealer. And so he was instrumental in helping me put this show together tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our Auction Remarketing Mavericks panel. Dave Sutton, Montway, Rich Levene, Dignity Leadership, James Raymond, ACV Auctions, Skye, Haulman, One Auction View. Because what is a Maverick, right? Does everybody appreciate a Maverick buzzing the tower? Not everybody appreciates that. And yet the people that do really appreciate it. So that, boy, in a nutshell, that sums up what we do here at ATI. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be pretty cool. So let's do this. Oh, here, do me a favor. If you've got an opportunity, look around, see if you can find a like laying around just anywhere. Just laying around on the floor. Go ahead and leave a like. You can click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link, share it on social media, let somebody know. You know what? ATI is another resource. You might want to check it into. Check it into? Sure. Yeah, you can do that. You can check it into. And if you're just lost, call or text Ty, 417-483-2764. We are really trying to help. You know, do you feel befuddled by a get-rich something? I can't believe how much I still see. Like, really? In this market, you're going to make a get-rich-quick video? Or like, just, persevere. Forget the numbers. Or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand it. So if you're as confused as we are by some of that, call or text Ty. He wants to help you, let's talk it through. Let's see if is there something that we're missing, or is it something that you're seeing that you just want to verify? Maybe that's what it is. I'll tell you what. Do me a favor. Stick around right after this. We'll go into the live chat. We've got a lot of news. Strap yourself in.
Everybody wants to be part of a bigger story. Auto transport is a vital part of that story. Vehicle reconditioning starts when your transport arrives at the dealership. The story starts with you. For our auto retail customers, as yours, full satisfaction.
Ship Your Car Now presents Integrated Automotive Transportation Solutions. When your car buying customers are on your dealership website shopping for vehicles, they can easily find an instant shipping quote. By entering simple information, first name, last name, email, and phone number, delivery zip, delivery state, and clicking the button, Get Your Shipping Quote. Choose from express shipping, enclosed transport, and proceed to checkout. Review the order summary. Enter the delivery street address and city and click Next. Simply enter your credit card information just like any other online shopping cart. And when you are ready, click Review Your Shipping Order. Check your shipping order one more time and choose Proceed to Checkout. Your delivery is all set. If you want to ship your car now, go to Ship Your Car Now. Ship Your Car Now provides a full suite of vehicle shipping services for all types of businesses. That's why Ship Your Car Now offers trusted carriers, good-paying loads that pay fast. Visit shipyourcarnow.com. Link in the live chat. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and here we go. Let's get a drum roll for the community. Give it up for the community. Jumping into the live chat. You're going to see the current live chat. I'm going to jump up to the top. Ty got in here first. Is this where I get my auction updates? Well, we're going to find that out. Ty, it's going to be an interesting panel tonight. And before I go any further, I heard a meeting earlier today talking about, getting back to the basics. What is this channel about? Why have we grown so far beyond just the carrier? And, this is tough because I'm pro carrier. I love the carrier. I think that the carrier works really hard and has a really tough job. I wish more carriers would learn the rest of the automotive ecosystem. I don't know why so many don't. And when you're booking off the load board day after day and you're frustrated with the rates, but you're not learning where any of those loads came from, God, I'm so confused. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to whisper through the rest of the show. Carlos Braxton is here. What's going on, Carlos? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Carlos is always here learning about what's going on. That's amazing. You could probably quiz Carlos about all aspects of automotive, and I think he would do pretty well. So thank you so much, Carlos. Will Morris is here, the vehicle transport coach. What's up? What's up, Will? Howdy. It's great to see you, Will. We consider you part of our ecosystem. I know Ty and I both think about you. Will has been participating in different shows on ATI. I mean, Cars on the Move. There were some great Cars on the Move shows with Will last year. Maybe even in 2021. Will, when did we start having you on this channel? That's a good trivia question. When did Will Morris? Okay. Hey, Mark Rodicke is in here. Superflow Systems. What's up, Mark? And sure do appreciate you, buddy. What I did is Kimberly's on assignment today, so I grabbed the links. I just went ahead and put in the Superflow link once again, because we do appreciate folks that participate, contribute, and in fact, yeah, McCollister's video edit, that's going to be coming out soon. Really nice. That edit came out really well, so proud of that stuff. Annie DeServo really is here. That's awesome. So we caught up with Antoinette. Do you go by Annie? Antoinette? We met Antoinette at NADA. Again, these trade shows, we can't stress enough. I know it seems weird or whatever, or expensive or time consuming. I don't know. These trade shows are essential golden nuggets to what's happened on this channel. And that's why we talk about it so much. So Annie, thank you so much for joining us. That's cool. Danny B is here. What's up, Danny B? Danny B makes it into a lot of Thursday shows. You'll find a different tone here on a Tuesday night. I'm the same guy. I'm the same old crummy dispatcher. No, I don't dispatch it. I got asked again today, do you still dispatch? I don't dispatch anymore. That was making me crazy. You think I'm crazy now? You should have seen me when I was dispatching. But when you join on Thursday's show, boy, oh boy, do you get the nuts and bolts of frustration. So join us on Thursdays at noon. John Larrick is here. What's up, John Larrick? Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. John is going to be up on stage with us. Here's what we're going to do, John. Newsflash, you don't already know this, I'm just telling you live, is we're going to, in about a month, about 6 weeks, we're going to do because John is going to be live with us at Car Conference for the Heavy Loads Ahead panel. Still working on that a lot. Ty and I are both working like crazy on our car stuff, which is great because we're like 6 to 7 weeks ahead, which is great because we really want it to be great. So we'll do like a pre-panel like a week or two before Car Conference, so look for that. Let's see here, what else we got? Why email you offline when I can just tell you live? Kelly Love is here. Kelly, thanks for saying hello and tuning in. We've seen Kelly in here a lot. Got the OAV logo going on, One Auction View. That's awesome. Thank you. It was 2021, yeah. Isn't that wild? But yeah, it was 2021. 2021 sounds like a lot. Like I feel like when I say 2021, I start looking for my mask, which I don't want to do. Don't do that. I saw somebody go into a restaurant with their mask on, and they walked in and realized, man, nobody was wearing it. Yeah, let's do some more Cars on the Move. I'm all over the road again, I-95 corridor. Great, yeah. Hook up with Ty. What's Ty's number? 417-483-2764. Did you know that random people on LinkedIn now know Ty's phone number? ATI to the moon. Well placed. That's good timing. You can make martinis in the super chat just like Ty. Please do it. It helps us. Chris Chamberlain is here. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Ramping up Recon build in anticipation of tax season sales. Yeah, how's tax season gonna be this year? What's the prognosis, doctor? All right, it's 7:15. Man, we landed this plane right on time. I promise you there's going to be so much industry news. You're going to have information coming out of your ears by 8 o'clock. So do me a favor, stick around. Right after this, we're going into industry news. We'll be right back.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Are you searching for that midnight auto shipping quote and new lead software you can trust? Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter and move cars fast with Pro ABD CRM. Visit superflowsystems.com, and the link is right there in the live chat. Oh, thank you so much, Mark. Swing bada bada. Martini's in the live chat. TAQ with Pro ABD. Awesome auto transport business. Thank you, Mark. That's right. And we did a cool show. I was thinking about this recently. Can a carrier be the broker? Can a carrier be the broker was a Friday show on Cars on the Move where we talked about what does it take for a carrier to be a broker. It takes several things, actually. It's not easy. It's not for everybody. But if you're building your business, might want to look into it. And what is one of the things you're going to need? Great technology. Superflow Systems, you need Transport Auto Quoter to help you give quotes when you can't get to the phone, which is going to be a lot because you're going to be busy. And you need Pro ABD CRM to manage those leads that you're giving quotes to because you got customers coming out of your ears. Something like that. Let's go into industry news. Here we go. Auction Remarketing Mavericks show 280 in a row on a Tuesday on ATI. I saw this recently. Last week was another 46% sale rate. That means 54% of all inventory did not sell. This is when it's going to matter how your auction compares to the other auctions. When things get tight, competition is the name of the game, and you're going to have to be able to compete. And if you're blowing your sales fees out the nose and your customer service is minimal, good luck with that. In fact, Skye sent me this. Manheim buy fees increased to the moon. He wasn't feeling too great about it. Yeah, that might affect your next move on your next purchase. But Jay, we had this show, According to Consignor, where we got to meet and talk to consignors about what gets their business. Yeah, they got several things they're looking for. High selfies ain't one of them. And on ATI, we talk front of the store, back of the store. We encourage you, walk around. Walk around. Go to the side. Check out the roof. Go to the basement. It's a big ecosystem, and that's why we keep moving around. And tonight, auctions and services, there's a lot to unpack there. So, yeah, exactly. $1,000 before you even get your car? Nice. Is there any profit left at that point? Kind of brutal. We are, among other things, we're following the disconnect between sales and operations. Just because you can sell it doesn't mean it can be fulfilled the way you sold it. So let's watch that, okay? That's why we talk about the transportation dumpster fire. And we prove it every week. I know. It's not it's not fun. It is what it is. I mean, you know, we didn't create it. We're just reporting on it. You know, really, we're still selling home delivery? I'm telling you, right now people will take any delivery. Here's one in the independent dealer. Good afternoon. I'm so tired of dealing with transporters. Can anyone recommend a broker? I need brokers who work nationwide. Okay, there it is. You didn't think it was there? There it is. And I know nobody wants to hear this, but this is out there. Why? I don't know. I'm going back to Facebook to argue over the weather. Let's move on. Ship.Cars debuts enhanced features for auctions and dealers with drive-away. Ship.Cars, provider of software solutions for the car hauling industry, released a host of new features to support auto transport for auctions and dealers. A practical addition to its LoadMate Pro, drive-away digitizes and brings efficiencies to dispatch transportation process for short-distance, single-vehicle shipments. More of what you're going to be seeing and have been seeing. Drive-away empowers shippers to create and dispatch loads directly to their own drive-away drivers and get digital updates within LoadMate Pro platform. Drive-away reduces manual processes and the need for old-fashioned tools to save time and increase transparency during the dispatch and transportation shipments. After creating their loads, auctions can automate the dispatch process, assign vehicle identification numbers directly for drive-away driver of their choice, making dispatch quicker, easier, paperless. Onboarding drivers is a seamless process that takes only a couple minutes to set up. AutoIMS and Experian offer expanded AutoCheck pilot. AutoIMS and Experian announced today a 3-month free pilot offer for the suite of Experian AutoCheck. Oh, and this was today. Vehicle history report options in the AutoIMS platform, the popular inventory management system for commercial consignors who manage inventory at physical auctions. AutoIMS. Beginning in January, commercial consignors could access the AutoCheck vehicle history snapshot data and full vehicle history reports through the end of March for no additional fees. The move comes as commercial consignment volumes at physical auction are poised to begin a rebound. Learn more about AutoIMS. When you see it, read it. I got some AutoIMS data coming up tonight. Hey, 40% of dealers unhappy with their vehicle photo vendor. I found that shocking. Is it? Dealer Image Pro, a leader in professional photo, video, 360-degree software for auto dealerships, recently announced results from a survey it commissioned to better understand the level of dissatisfaction dealers are having with their preferred vendors and how using a preferred vendor has influenced dealership vehicle photo and video decisions. Dealer Image Pro presented an online survey to more than 3,000 dealer professionals in December. 40% of dealers said they're dissatisfied or very dissatisfied with their current preferred vendor managing vehicle inventory photo and video process. Furthermore, Dealer Image Pro found that 33% of dealerships' preferred vendor decisions are primarily influenced by pre-existing relationships. And another 31 said they don't use any preferred vendors and still look at outside vendors to take dealership vehicle photos and videos. Opportunity is there. Why EV programs are causing supplier trouble. An increase in electric and hybrid models bogging down program managers' work and suppliers. Shouldn't be too shocking. As the number of planned full electric and hybrid models rise, so is the complexity facing supplier managers, already in a crunch. A new reality that is translating to higher costs and missed timelines for companies already reeling from supply chain woes. With the influx of new electrified vehicle programs, the average supplier is between 30 and 50% behind schedule. Man. Or running above target costs. Bad news. Economist who called 2008 housing crash predicts another 15% drop in home prices. Did you read this? You predict it? Rent the Big Short. Bankruptcies start 2023 on the rise. Bankruptcy new filings were up year over year across Chapter 7, 11, 13, and 15. While still below pre-pandemic levels, Chapter 13 filings continued to increase in January. Total commercial filings rose 12% in January over reported a year ago. Commercial Chapter 11 increased 70% from a year ago. Small business filings increased 49% from a year ago. Okay. Those are significant. You know, when you read like 5% increase, yeah. Man, no. 70%? Whoa. Small businesses, whoa. 49%? Compared to December, every new filing except Chapter 12 increased. Wow. Cox Automotive Roku team up to share how streaming TV ad campaigns impact car shopping journey. Look for this. Found this interesting. Cox Automotive and Roku are now working together to help determine how advertising on streaming TV can impact the car consumer buying journey along all stages of the process, from web browsing to purchase. That's what everybody's talking about. End to end. From internet research to buying it in the dealership and not sitting in F&I for 5 hours. To help marketers connect ad exposure to every stage of the shopping journey for the first time, in a nutshell, here's how it would work. An automotive brand determines its target audience, launches a streaming ad campaign with Roku. The ad exposure data that Roku captures is then sent to Cox Automotive, which pairs with the company's first-party data set. Cox can then provide reports showing how streaming ad exposure correlates with consumer behavior across its many properties, like Kelley Blue Book, Auto Trader, etc. And the Super Bowl, probably not going to see as much Carvana and Vroom this year, but dealers and OEM partners are taking advantage of Super Bowl viewership to try new advertising strategies for EVs. More EV ads coming your way in between touchdowns or fumbles. What's it going to be? What's it going to be this year? Is it going to be another slugfest? Or is it going to be like one of those tragedy Super Bowls where you're like, man, get me out of here? Let me know. Sales of electric vehicles in the U.S. showed a sharp jump in sales, increasing by 2/3 in 2022, while the remaining portion of the auto market contracted. Across the globe, EV sales are even more impressive, driving up demand. This year's big game is expected to showcase another round of EV excitement, with new vehicles advertised and even broader, more well-rounded EV campaigns that reach across social, broadcast, and web. Why more people aren't buying EVs? EV advertising messages must begin to educate, tap into the lifestyle wants and needs of a driver. Campaigns must begin to range anxiety. It's got to get tackled. And not everybody has range anxiety. Listen, if you're just driving to work, 100, 200 miles range, that's going to be fine. But if you're trying to haul with your F-150 Lightning, yeah, it's going to be a problem. Campaigns must begin to identify with people who aren't just looking for the futuristic dream, but rather answer the question of what it will be like switching over from gas. We get it. The cars are cool. They're quiet. They're good for the environment, allegedly. But people who have purchased the other 94% of non-EV cars and trucks need more than just a cool-looking car. What's in it for them? Where's the range anxiety? They want to know what's it like to maintain. They want to know the state of charging and the build-out of infrastructure, and what it's like to walk in and purchase one from a dealership. Off-hours EV truck charging deserves discounts. Thoughtfully designing charging rates may increase EV adoption. Yeah, this one is, man, I don't know how far we are from mass EV truck adoption. 2035? I mean, it's going to be a while. In short, utilities should design new commercial EV rates that provide significant fuel cost savings to drivers and fleet operators who charge in a manner that supports the electrical grid. You got all those trucks charging at the same time. What is that, 10%? Electrifying long-haul trucks runs alone on today's roadways would require about 1/10 of the nation's power. Throw up your hands for that one. It's interesting. Now, in international news, I love to find something. Main transit hub for car transport from China to Europe, North Africa, and Near East in new special containers. Apparently, there's a shortage of vessel shipping, so containers is the thing. An innovation in carrying mode by multi-purpose vessel Costco Shipping. Now, that's not Costco. It's not where you get your salmon and your Danishes. It's just Costco. I think it's a Chinese company. The new service concerns the transportation of vehicles in special containers with a capacity of 3 vehicles. It's called a flat rack. Equipped with built-in ramps for easy transportation and placement of the vehicles, these platforms have been certified to be stacked to a height of 3 containers. Check it. That goes inside, what? The 50-foot, what is it, 53-foot shipping container? It's pretty cool. Strategic location of a port. The port of Piraeus is actually a strategic port in the use of the Costco shipping. There it is in the Med, right off of the Greece island chain there. That's pretty cool. That's where the port of Piraeus. Costco is dedicated to the operations managing more than 100 vessels. Multi-purpose heavy lifting, semi-submersible car carriers, logs, asphalt. Scale of the specialized shipping fleet, one of the largest in the world. It's pretty cool. That is a smart system. Look for it. Let me know if you see it. Send me a Polaroid, will ya? Send it to ATI, autotransportintel at gmail.com. You can send in your comments. Got one already from a carrier. What does he say? Amazing program on YouTube. I have a question. I have a 5-car carrier. My driver is not fluent in English. Do you know of any bilingual car hauling dispatchers? Oh, man, that is a good question. Actually, we should have a... You know what? We're going to talk about that Thursday. Let me forward this email to myself so I make sure. Really, Jay? You're doing this live? Yeah, that's the way we roll. It's how you get your car shoot business news. Put it up on the big screen. Come on, what are we talking about? Big screen every Tuesday night. I got 5 new questions. That's right, step right up. 5 new questions. Are you a car shipping guru? Play Ask Larry. Here we go. What do you think the theme of the questions is tonight? What was that? I'm listening. Okay. Yeah, if you said auctions, you are correct. Let's do this thing. According to the NAAA Vehicle Condition Grading Scale, a grade 1 means vehicle's in excellent condition, vehicle's inoperable, vehicle shows signs of severe abuse, vehicle has normal wear and tear. Grade 1, excellent condition, inop, severe abuse, normal wear and tear. Which one is it? Grade 1. Right? Say what? How many grades are there? Well, I think it's 0 through 5. Am I right? 0 through 5? I know some of you guys know. Yeah, we got Ty says abuse. Annie says severe. Kelly's got inop. Ooh, Rich has severe. Yes, it is 0 through 5. Like, right? So right now, should I feel an internet flutter? Okay, I think we're okay. Jay likes a cross between my old... Jay talking like a cross between my old shop teacher, Bill Nye, and the guy who taught geography. That's great. So funny. I don't know those people, but I can imagine it was a pretty wild time. The answer is... severe abuse. Grade 1 is severe. Grade 0 is inop. Grade 5 is excellent. And I think 3 is normal wear and tear. So you just learned something about the grades, the vehicle conditioning grading scale at auctions. And this is really important to the buyer. Because if it's a grade 1, yeah, call the tow truck. Something. I don't know. Call Recon. Call Recon quickly. All right, here we go. Question 2. What is the appropriate carrier pay to ship a running 1971 Chevy C10 on an open carrier from Punxsutawney to Woodstock, Illinois? $300, $480, $590, $770. It's a 71 C10. It is running. What grade is it? Open. Punxsutawney. I don't actually know where Punxsutawney is. I mean, I know it's a PA, but I'm guessing up in the hills where the trees are and the groundhogs. Woodstock, Illinois. This is a freaky route. Does it include a groundhog? That is awesome, man. Everybody's got 770. That is wild. We have 570. Yeah, let's see if we got this. Man, what is going on? You guys got it? Oh, man. See, here's the thing. It sounds like it should be paying 770. I agree with that. This is why we look at these rates. It's just, man, it's tough. Random fact, groundhog lives in the library year-round. Yeah, I quit. Oh, man. Here we go. Question 3. Isn't this fun, kids? Okay. According to the NAAA sale light system, red light means ride and drive, super sale, limited guarantee, limited as is. This is another part when you're bidding, you'll see the grade, you'll see the light system. Red light means ride and drive, super sale, limited guarantee, limited as is. Look at these, man. This is high engagement. We got as is, limited as is. As is, limited as is. I mean, I think it looks like everybody got this one. Limited as is. Red light, as is. So green light is ride and drive. I guess ready to go, right? Yellow light means limited guarantee. And then what blue light was, blue light is, somebody put it in the live chat. I can't remember what blue light means. There is no super sale. Somebody was playing around. Question 4. What is the appropriate carrier pay to ship a running 2020 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy on an enclosed carrier from Climax, Michigan to Cumming, Georgia? You see that, Clummy? It's from Climax to Cumming, really? How much does it pay? $69? $240, $400, $590, or $760? This sounds like a green light. Super sale. It's a 2020 Harley-Davidson Fat Boy enclosed. Well, it's got to be $760, right? Oh, yeah, come on. This is a family show. Ooh, with or without the title. Nice. Silver mint. Okay. Silver mint. 185. What, 5150? Are we getting into like police codes now? All right. All right, let's see what this thing pays. Here we go. Ready? It's coming from Beaver Toyota. That is fantastic. Oh man, it only pays $590. Gosh. Wouldn't you believe it? That's the, going rate or whatever. Oh my gosh. Wow, Mark, one of the best questions maybe ever for a route. Oh, shoot. Blue light means no title. Oh, thank you. Blue light means no title in hand at the auction at the time of sale. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. You definitely want to know that. All right, here we go. Question 5. Hold it together, boys. According to the NAAA, a generic condition report does not contain year, make, model, trim, electrical issues, visible flood damage, or the odometer. It does not contain one of these things. The other 3 are on a generic condition report. Yet, John's like, leave it. Man, we're only halfway through the news. Whoa. Here we go. We got flood, electrical. We got 3 electricals. Here we go. It is electrical. I threw in flood to throw Ty off. So I got to win some argument somewhere. Listen, we do appreciate you guys tuning in for the quiz show, for the Ask Larry, and a little bit more setup. We got part 2 industry news coming up next. Do me a favor, grab your favorite electronic logging device, drink, and sip away. We'll be right back after this.
McCollister's has been around for over 76 years, and we're known as providing our customers with high-level, white-glove, concierge-style services. We provide our customers solutions in both transportation, logistics, and warehousing.
We take a very different approach than most auto logistics companies. Our approach is one of being consultative and adaptive to the auto industry. Our approach saves time and money while providing tangible data, which helps improve processes.
McCollister's offers a unique tech solution, which we call our AutoVista portal. It's a cloud-based solution. It provides the ability for our dealership partners to access it using any device they want whenever they need.
Most auto logistics companies just want to deliver your car. We want to do more than that. All of those measurements that are important to you to run your business and understand where your costs are, McCollister's AutoVista technology supports that.
It's a car shipping performance data management tool. That's why car dealers love the AutoVista portal by McCollister's Transportation Group. Find out what you're missing. Visit McCollisters.com. All right, here we go. Let's go into part 2 of the industry news. I told you it would be a long evening in the news. Probably got another 10 minutes or so. Here we go. Call the Biz Development Department. Here we go. It's your weekly pulse on ATI industry news. GM, at the top of the news, GM is going to buy 400 trucks to transport its cars to dealers faster. Really? GM is looking to return to full production capacity in 2023. What does buying your transportation trucks have to do with that? General Motors will purchase hundreds of heavy-duty car transporter trucks as it looks to boost production through 2023. I thought cars were made in the factory. I didn't know they were made on the trucks. Let's keep going. This will help to reduce its reliance on third-party logistics providers. But why? What's wrong with your third-party logistics providers? GM stepped up and bought those assets. GM people on GM-owned vehicles are delivering our products to us. It's just part of GM being aggressive and figuring it out. We're not going to sit back and just be a victim of the transportation industry. Really? What? We're going to take charge of it. Victim? I don't know. Maybe. I guess. Bottom line is, the bad weather, the storm is behind us. It's a very bright future now that we are going to buy our own trucks. Improving the brand's logistics network is a key priority and noted that dealers want more of what we have. Wait, what? Improving the brand's logistics network is a key priority and noted that dealers want more of what we have. What, your inventory? They can't get it now? Our focus is on production and capacity and some of the shipping challenges we've had. So we need to work hard to straighten those up and get them more of what we have. And especially with these new products coming, that's what they're looking for. What? New trucks? I still don't get it. I'm missing something. The company is working hard to eliminate the last supply chain obstacles, rapidly get parts for partially completed vehicles, and efficiently get the freshly finished vehicles onto dealer lots. Which isn't happening now? You're telling me the transportation network is the problem? There's not enough car haulers? Restoring production to the near 100% capacity, typical before the supply chain disruption, is critically important, but it's not the only action GM is taking. GM plans to buy 400 heavy-duty trucks its employees will operate to bring vehicles to dealerships? It announced these plans at a meeting. Okay. I'm still not. I don't know why. While GM's new truck fleet will help, we're going to keep trying. While GM's new truck fleet will help bypass third-party transportation problems in the United States, there are still more potential bottlenecks to overcome. For example, shipping shortages repeatedly prevented GM from bringing new Buick Envision units into the U.S. from the GMC SAIC Jinkou plant in China during 2022. There weren't enough trucks available? Still, having 400 of its own trucks ready to move finished vehicles to lots should help GM increase the available inventory back toward the 60-day supply considered optimal pre-pandemic. I didn't know dealers... I thought, man, I'm just confused. One example, 11,000 finished, ready to ship. Here we go. See? You just said it. 11,000 finished, ready to ship Chevy Silverado HD trucks were left parked with no available transport. None? Uh-huh. Clearing the backlog was particularly slow because the size of the trucks made it possible to fit only a few on each rail car. Okay. What does that have to do with trucks? GM's truck fleet will likely lessen reliance on railways. Oh, you don't want to rely... You still can't... And provide more flexible highway-based transportation. I don't know. Somebody let me know when we... I still can't figure it out. Let's move on. Tweet by car dealership guy on Twitter. Ford, right? Oh, I get the new trucks will drive across. Good one, Kelly. Right. Yeah, because clearly workers that were doing something else for the last 30 years are going to be better drivers in our new trucks. I don't know. Who's making the trucks? Let's find that out. Ford just hit a 6-year record low in sales. Deals on its cars are worsening. Stock in absolute shambles. Is the American icon actually failing? Now, I'm just reading, but this is what Car Dealership Guy says on Twitter about Ford. Let's keep going. What in the world is happening at Ford? For starters, the average transaction price for a new Ford just hit a new high, over $55,000, as it's been going up. So that's a $10,000 to $15,000 increase in the last 5-6 years. Okay. Second, Ford sold only 479,000 plus vehicles in Q4 2022. To put that in perspective, last time its sales fell below 500K units in a quarter was 6 years ago. Okay. Price going up, volume going down. Third, Tesla, a major competitor to Ford in the EV segment, as we've heard, recently cut its prices on its new cars by up to 20%. How did Ford respond? It cut prices. Here's the problem. Ford's margins are slim. It can't just cut prices and still make a profit. Interesting point. Mic, check 1, 2. All right. How's the audio? We're okay? Check. Okay. Result, Ford just announced that it will have to sell certain models at a loss just to remain competitive. No bueno. But, car dealership guy, is there anything Ford can do to boost its sales? Well, yeah, you know what a company does when it wants to boost sales, creates buying incentives for consumers. You know what Ford is doing? The opposite. It's cutting its car buying incentives. Recently slashed its incentives by 56%. Okay, fine, I get it, but why is this happening? Here's why. Ford's supply chain is a huge mess, as we were reading about with EV and all that. Costs are too high, volume targets not met. Even Jim Farley recently stated that strong sales in previous years masked some of Ford's deeply entrenched issues. And if your brain hasn't exploded yet, it was recently reported on Groundhog's Day that they lost $2 billion in 2022. That's why EV is the way to go. It's the wave of the future. Oh, yeah. Virginia legislation aims to prevent direct sales and delivery agents. Can't beat them? Legislate them. A pair of identical bills passed unanimously in both Virginia's House and Senate, and one may be headed for final passage. What do they say? Well, legislation in Virginia aims to keep automakers from negotiating directly with consumers or going so far as to declare franchise dealers delivery agents. Now, you'd think that this is, legal meddling, but there is a point. The dealers have been doing something. Just because you make the auto doesn't mean you're the best one at delivering the auto, or maybe even selling the auto. The bill language may be some of the first in the country to reference growing concerns among franchise dealers that legacy automakers may try to take steps toward an agency model and sell directly to consumers. Among its provisions, it prohibits automakers from negotiating binding sale or lease terms with consumers, including online, retaining ownership in new vehicles until they're sold rather than selling them to dealers to hold an inventory, and declaring that dealers are delivery agents. Which is another reason why I don't know why you need 400 new trucks, because we're not going to leave the same inventory on the lots of the dealers. Allegedly. Virginia's bill language also includes a provision that prohibits automakers from unilaterally changing franchise agreements without also getting an agreement from the dealer. They're going to lock it up. Everybody will tell you in America, we don't believe in agency models. We're never going to do an agency model, said in Virginia. State dealer franchise laws already prevent legacy automakers with franchise dealer networks from selling vehicles directly to consumers, yet even if automakers publicly say they are not interested in turning dealerships into delivery centers, the bill language is intended to bar them from attempting certain practices that will circumvent dealers. The reason for all this? To make sure that we don't have anything that looks, walks, or talks like an agency. It's to send the message that the franchise system will stay intact, and car dealers will have the option and the right to sell cars. JFK didn't say this. It's not going to be usurped by Ford. Auction vehicle supply and demand easing back to normal. Remarketing activity appears to be reaching a far more familiar, stable path after a long journey through the near 3-year chaos of pandemic supply chain pressures. This comes from a report from AutoIMS. 2022 is a wrap, and so are many of the previous trends we saw unfolding over the last 2 years. Cooling inflation, higher car payments, increased delinquencies, perhaps a return to earth in terms of supply and demand. Highlights from Q4 2022 versus 2021. Percentage of vehicles sold on a day in which they were offered dipped to 59% from 68% a year ago. Average sale price fell from $16,000 to $14,000. Average vehicle grade rose. Resold vehicles got newer. Amount of auction fees deducted rose. Average days from auction arrival to sale increased. Let's look at some of the charts here. Thank you, AutoIMS. Average damage estimate up over time. Wait, is that right? Oh, okay. Average damage estimate, okay, is actually, it's a similar line, but it's higher in 2022, yeah. Because you're selling, yeah, higher damaged vehicles. But, as we cool off, some of that's going to keep cooling off. Here we go. Average mileage was, well, shoot. 90 grand average mileage. What do we got? Average sale price is, oh, that's dropping. Okay, average sale price is dropping. Average vehicle grade. Wow, look at that slope, man. Whoa. After, man, it didn't take long in early 21. People were like, give me whatever. I don't care. No wheels? Great. Send it. Conversion rate. Number of vehicles sold on a day in which they were offered. That's been dropping, as we know. Not as many cars are selling in the lanes. Vehicle sales volume percent change. Wow, look at that. Yeah, right. That's when everything went nuts. Spring 2021. Here we go. Low lease returns contribute to lack of used inventory, propping prices but limiting growth. For consumers interested in driving vehicles they could not afford to purchase outright, leasing offered a cost-effective option that broadened participation in the new vehicle market. The arrangement was a major plus for manufacturers because it expanded demand for new vehicle production. Dealerships, however, were arguably the biggest winners. Leases accelerate the movement of low-margin new inventory while presenting a virtual guarantee that high-margin used vehicles would return to their lots for resale after 3 years. The post-pandemic, pre-recession economy shattered this paradigm. According to J.D. Power research, lease returns are down 40% year over year. Leaseholders are in growing numbers exercising their buyout rights as the elevated value retained in today's cars and trucks changes the financial calculus. Many find themselves in better equity position at the end of their lease. On the flip side, lease deals today are horrible. It is not unusual for leaseholders who sign up for a $500 per month payment 3 years ago to face the dubious opportunity of shelling out twice as much for a comparable vehicle today. Moreover, lease payments that once required low or no money down have been replaced by demands for $5,000 initial deposits. The picture's no rosier for conventional sales financed with loans. Monthly payments for 72-month, 6-year contracts reached a whopping $710 a month in 2022. While it is a higher payment than today's leases, currently averaging $594, the trajectory for 2023 is uncertain at best. All of this explains why only 17% of new vehicle sales today have been executed through new lease originations, down 30% in 2019. We've been talking about a lot of this stuff. We were at NADA show. That's a wrap on NADA. I do want to mention that we had the Evolution show a week ago, and just to put the bow on what we saw, learned at NADA, it really is a big show where you can really connect with dealers. That's why we're moving now into the auction show, and as we move into Car Conference, it's all about the auctions. If you see this, you're dealing with an ATI podcast, go ahead and you can sign up for the podcast. It's okay. We like that. Follow the podcast. I'm going to put the link in the live chat. Thank you very much. It's ATI Auto Business. That's what you're looking for. That's who we are. That's the community. You can become an ATI insider by talking to Ty. 417-483-2764. Let him know your questions and how he can help. We're inside of Kelly Bianchi's Auction V-Commerce dealer app. You can watch ATI inside the AVC dealer app. You can download that app on the App Store or Google Play. Auction V-Commerce Dealers app. We're going to be live again tomorrow on our monthly installment of live carrier advice. And it spans from DOT, FMCSA, business. We'll talk about brokering, dispatch, etc. We'll move into Thermonuclear Thursdays. You know how it is on Dispatching Live. 90 minutes. Man, that show goes fast. Allegedly. Our Friday show, Dealers, Auctions, and Carriers Get Connected on Cars on the Move. I just want to point out again, we had a great show with Ubong Aquera on Friday. Ship Africa portal demo. If you're involved in international car shipping, you want to learn more about Ship Africa, and you can do that on Cars on the Move. This Friday, we've got Ben Goodman and Bill Elizondo from NIADA. Buy here, pay here with Ben and Bill. Tune in. That's going to be a great show. And it's ATI, it's Car Shipping Business Channel. Whoa, it's almost 8 o'clock. I know. That was a lot of stuff. So let's do this. Let's get right into a quick break. We're going to come back with Ty. Ty's going to help me introduce the panel. Stick around. We'll be right back. Ship.Cars. Intelligent car shipping made simple. An end-to-end vehicle delivery platform featuring AI damage inspection, search along route, and compliance documents. Manual inspection is time-consuming and prone to human error. Save time and money with our AI damage inspection tool. Automatically detect, classify all damages, and send a full damage report. SAR, Search Along Route feature. With a simple search, Ship.Cars helps carriers find available loads while on the road. Compliance documents automate the upload of important digital documents, saving time and reducing hassle. We're Ship.Cars, your transportation technology provider. Contact us today. AI damage inspection, search along route, digital compliance documents upload. Ship.Cars, intelligent car shipping tech, is for dealers, auctions, and carriers. Visit Ship.Cars. All right, here we go. So we're going to bring in our panel. Looks like Ty is ready. Let's go ahead. He's my friend and yours. He was in the live chat. Now he's up on center stage with me here. Please do help me welcome Ty Thompson, Cars on the Move. Ty, can you see me?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm tired.
Man, yeah, that was a lot.
It's a lot of
I like your news. I always like your news. I really do.
Thanks.
Find that I know you work hard on it, but it's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Well,
you do a good job.
Thank you. It's interesting to, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's 20 minutes, but that's a lot of stuff.
And got it in the live chat, the takeaway, the live chat. You want to know the one that got everybody excited, lit up, was the GM and the trucks.
Right, that's why I put it at the top. The more I read it, I'm like, what?
Wow. What happened? Yeah, that's the one I sent you that I've been going crazy about for 2 weeks now.
Well, take it away. Yeah.
No, I can't take it away. I don't have anything to say positive, so we'll just leave it at that.
Well, that's the thing. I literally, as I continued to read it, I'm thinking, I don't get it. What am I missing? Am I missing something?
Well, it is funny because probably more than 8 months ago, I had an old Chevy dealer that I used to haul for in Kansas, Wichita area. He called and was wanting me to start going and picking up his new cars at the railhead. And I said, wait a minute, how did you get this approved? Because this has never been done before. He said, well, they said, we can't find anybody to ship our cars. So if we can find somebody, go get them. Now, I will say that was in the middle of the OEM. I mean, well, we're still in the middle of it, I guess. But it was really, this phone call was when they finally kind of started cranking out a few cars. And then there was nobody to haul them. And I think that's one of the things about the remarketing that you and I are talking about a lot. I was at the IARA last year, I believe. It was in maybe Austin. Oh, no, that was in Nashville. Anyway, in the committee meeting, they're all worried about EVs and how are we going to haul them, and they weigh so much and they catch on fire. And I'm like, you guys might want to think about you're not going to have anybody to haul your cars. So that's what the Transportation Dumpster Fire at Car Conference in March is all about. That's what I get to talk about, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'll tell you what I'm really excited about, though, is tonight's show. So for Skye, I've met Skye. I know Skye Haulman, One Auction View, tech dealer. I love dealers, I love tech, and I love auctions. Rich, I met Rich at, I think it was a FinTech or what's the Auto Intel Summit? I think it was Auto Intel Summit where I met Rich. And then got to know him. He's been on the show before. Then we know David Sutton. He's with Mottway. Every show I go to, I see Dave. I mean, feel like he's family. And then the best, this one's great, James Raymond. I met him at Dallas, at NADA. And I can't wait to tell the story about how I met James. Really cool story. So really excited about tonight, just because of the relationships, of course, which that's one thing that I'm always going to push is relationships. No matter what your problem is in transportation, it's relationships will always help fix that. So good stuff. I'm excited.
Well, that's a good, so guys, get ready. The panel's up next. I just wrote in the live chat, panel up next. Looks like everybody's in the waiting room ready to go. Before we bring in James, David, Rich, and Skye, so just after all the considerations there, so we're talking about. I was trying to come up with a theme we were talking about the theme: auction remarketing Mavericks. What makes your auction the place? Whether it's and when I say auction, physical, digital, platform, marketplace, whatever you want to call it. What makes yours the place where the buyers and sellers want to be? So that's my thought as we move into tonight. And we can go way off of that, but that's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, and I think one of the things that I heard that I want to definitely ask the guys that are on the show tonight is inventory, auction inventory. I definitely want to talk about that. And that ties in with remarketing, right? And it even ties into your industry news. The whole lease deal, I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember when everybody, all the dealer guys, all the I call them armchair dealer guys, buy cars in the lane, buy cars in driveways, buy cars everywhere. Remember that?
Yeah, vehicle acquisition.
And then the lease, remember the lease deal? That was a big deal. They're like, buy the leases. You know, for some reason, dealers never bought the leases, but now buy the leases. So
now they're buying
industry
clunkers.
News.
Yeah.
Well, and Skye in the
Selling
live chat,
clunkers.
he said that the vehicle conditions becoming more rough. I'd like to hear more about that too.
Right, the grade is dropping.
Grade, yeah.
And as we move into this, if you're in transportation, we realize you're not going to book a load tonight, but you're going to learn more about the loads you're moving. And when you decide to have a conversation with somebody to see if you can build business, man, you're going to be so much better prepared. So here we go. All right, let's bring them in. Get ready, gentlemen. Up on center stage, we got James, David, Rich. Here they come. I just let them all in. We'll jump in the live chat for a second while everybody gets settled, checks their audio. Here comes the president of the State of the Union. Chris says, painful like talking to my dad. He's 85. Will says he's staying here. And also talking about PAVE inspections. It's not AI, none are, but let's take a look. Interesting stuff. I love it. Okay, so here we go. Panel. All right, everybody's here. And let's do this. I'm going to start with from upper right, and I'm going to move down. James, I see you here first on my screen. Please do say hello and let us know. Can you hear us and see us?
Yeah, I can hear you and see you. I feel like I need to start off with a long-time listener, first-time caller, like I'm calling AM radio, to say that I am a long-time viewer. My name is James Raymond. I'm one of the regional sales directors at what we used to be a small auction, but now a large auction, ACV Auctions, located in Buffalo, New York. I've been with the company for 5 years. So besides that, I'm a father, I'm a veteran, and I am passionate, as Ty learned at NADA, about the car business. I eat, breathe, and sleep the car business. It's in my blood, and I love everything about it.
Yeah, that was this guy
James.
comes. I'm at the ACV after reception party and just talking to some people, and James comes up and it's like, I watch you guys all the time, and he was really excited, and I always got excited, and we're both excited, and we end up outside and just really love the passion this guy has is real, and I got to see it and feel it. It's really exciting. So thanks for coming, James. I mean,
yeah, I'm super excited to be on the panel. Some of these guys, Skye, Rich, and Dave, what an honor it is to sit here and be able to talk with you guys tonight. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, James. That's so cool. And we always love, long-time listener, first-time caller stuff. That is awesome. So thank you, James. Let me give you another applause. Thank you so much. All right, Rich Levene. Rich, you're in Second Square on the Hollywood Squares here. Can you see us and hear us okay? Tell us more about you.
I'm going to go with X.
Okay, X.
Okay. X. No, I'm delighted to be here. You got a great panel tonight. I'm not sure where you think I've got some expertise to share, but it's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting. I'll throw a wrench at it somehow.
Okay, see, now, and I know Ty, I'm just going to say this. We know you know things. Ty.
Rich is here for a reason. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Are you going to let me in on the secret, Ty?
Well, why don't you tell us your resume real quick? What's some of your background? Where you been hiding out for the last, say, I don't know, 10 years, 20?
Last 10 years. Let's put it, last 20 years I've been hiding out in auto auctions. I was a gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I started out in the industry selling cars way back when, in the late 1900s. And then I went and started working for an auction as an AGM. I don't know how I landed that role. I mean, straight from auction rep to AGM. And then I went back to the bank, and then I went to a third party and built a remarketing program. And then I went back to, I went to corporate for the first time, worked at corporate, did a bunch of stuff. Transportation, I helped do a ton of stuff in the transportation space and help with, mean, what I guess I'm known for is helping with operations and just greasing the wheels to make them slide a little better.
See, so you're a legit maverick, right? I mean, that's the thing. And so it's great to have you here. So
thank you for having me.
Yeah,
thanks, Rich.
Here. All right, I got Skye on my screen next. Skye Haulman, One Auction Views. Skye, please say hello. Tell us a little bit more.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show. I always love being here with you guys. And so you guys that don't know me, again, my name is Skye Haulman. And first and foremost, I am a car dealer. I've been a car dealer of 20 years, an independent dealer, and I'm a specialty dealer. So I buy and sell a little bit of everything, but most importantly, the last 10 years, I've kind of honed in on Jeep Wranglers. And that's what really led me to this software, One Auction View, that I founded, solving my problem of finding vehicles at all your auctions, all your subscribed auctions. And most dealers have 3 to 5 auctions that they're looking at, you know, the ACV, Mannheim, Odessa, Edge Pipeline, you know, all these backlot cars, you know, to name a few. And it's hard for car dealers to keep track of them all because all these auctions are texting and emailing. Hey, here's run list, here's something. Hey, jump on, check this out. And dealers are you know, they could only handle so much bandwidth. So that's my spiel. That's how I got into software, is solving my problem. But I found my problem is every dealer in America's problem, trying to keep track of their car auctions.
We know you're a maverick, and I want to say this too about ACV. Everybody knows who ACV is now.
Everybody knows who they are.
Yeah, I'm so
absolutely.
Once a maverick, always a maverick. Okay. Now, Dave Sutton. Dave, we love catching up with you at trade shows. To us, you're, what's the word, Ty? Is it mentor?
Mentor. Dave is a mentor. Dave really has embraced us,
Yeah.
both of us, and man, just been really good to us. Thank you, Dave.
So
Oh,
Dave,
you're welcome. You guys are bring a lot to any conversation you're part of. So I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to hiking with you in Las Vegas at the car conference.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
The
you guys
hike.
are going to carry the water bags this year. I'm just telling you right now, start training.
Is Ty
I'm
driving
ready.
the van? What time's that at? 6 a.m.? What's
Well,
it won't be
it's
the
gonna
same.
be more like 5:30ish. We'll
Is it
have
the
to be back
same
to the hotel
one?
by 9.
Is it the same one we did? I guess it is, right?
Well, it's the same. You know, it's a big park. We're going to do something a little bit different. There might be some ropes and helmets involved this year.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
I'm just kidding. No, we're not going to do that. Our attorney said no.
Oh, damn.
Right,
I'm not going.
exactly. Phew.
We will get a great collection of people up early in the morning on that Wednesday. We'll go for a great hike, have great conversation, get you back to the hotel safely. We're looking forward to it.
Man, all right. Well, so Ty, we're going to... Do you know what day that is?
Wednesday, I
Wednesday
believe
morning.
the 29th.
Okay. And that's Ty, that's the day you present. You're presenting Wednesday afternoon. So, man, you'll be nice and tired by the time you get to the dumpster fire.
No, it'd be perfect.
Gonna need a nap.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it work. That's awesome. All right, so I had outlined a bunch of stuff that we could talk about. Who's your customer? What's at stake? Building relationship. Whose job is it? Transportation. Physical versus digital. I mean, where do we start? With the consignor?
Consignor. Let's start with the consignor because our auctions haven't. This is a good one for James, but what do you think, James? How's the consignor working out? Wait, James, tell us what consignor is first.
Yeah, what's a consignor?
I like the word partner. I mean, let's get down to business because you're talking about relationships and how important that is, right? And the one thing that's always been great about the auto industry is relationships. So when I think about consignor, I think about relationships and partnership. And as I've seen the industry change and evolve, right now partnership is more important than ever. We saw a change in the industry during COVID, where we watched our partners adapt to the industry. Right now, if you're watching this, we're in the middle of that adaptation again. You just showed conversion rates and where they're headed currently, right? And that is the first sign that we need to adapt We need to look at our partners like I do every single day and try to help them and educate them on what's happening around them and adapting. So when I hear consignors, in my ears, I hear partnership, right? Because we're all partners, and our goal, right, not only at ACV in my everyday role, but it's to partner up with my consignors to help them make the best decisions that they possibly can to improve their business. So when I look at that, I think right now, more than ever, partnership and being able to adapt to some of the things that we're seeing around us. I mean, Skye brought up a great point when he first started talking at the beginning. You have so many of these guys using so many platforms, right? And the reasoning is with obviously conversion rates going down. I'll use a good Will Morris, who's a friend of the show's great line he always used that talked about putting the lipstick on a pig, right? We did that during COVID. Everybody was trying to put the lipstick on a pig and try to make everything into a vehicle. Well, those days are long gone, right? So now what we have is we need to make better decisions. Our consignors need to make the better decisions. We need better, data and education in order to make those decisions.
And
hey, James, I think the most important thing you just said was education, because as a former consignor with VW and Audi, it was really important that myself and my team, the auction reps, brought back to the executives at Volkswagen and Audi, here's what's going on out in the marketplace. Mm-hmm. So if you're selling, if you've got your fingers on that, if you're dealing with these institutional and commercial consignors, realize they're guys just like you. They're conduits of information. So to the extent that you can keep them educated and aware, they'll be a better partner to you. And they're going to be able to help the people back at home office understand what's coming, why we're doing what we're doing. And it's truly a great partnership. You just got to be willing to play that way. If you start viewing each other or the auctions as those are my vendors, those are my suppliers, you've taken the wrong turn.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the biggest point is, as an industry, I think we've gotten away from educating each other, right? I think we're back to a point of where we see more arrogance that coming back out. And listen, I don't blame that arrogance. We had 2 years of some of the greatest results, the best paychecks that we've ever seen. That's going to make anybody arrogant. If you look at some of these professional sports athletes that are out there that get those $100 million paychecks and then they struggle. The big thing is understanding that we're going through a time of we're going to go through a time of strife. We need to adapt, and we need technology, partnership, and education to get us there. So, Dave, listen, I will tell you this about me. I'm very clear with even, sister auctions or other auctions, just providing them trust and transparent education to make better decisions. I know in the long run is going to help me and my business. So.
Oh, you're a courtesy mute. Thanks, buddy.
Consignor. Consignors bring cars to auctions. Is that fair? Okay, yeah. So what's the difference between consignor and remarketer? Is there a difference?
There is a difference because a consignor typically, they own the vehicle or their company owns the vehicle. So it could be one of the captive auto finance companies. It could be a bank, could be a fleet lease company, could be a rental car company. Remarketers is a broader term, which would include remarketing services providers, who typically are alums. They formerly were a consignor. They have that expertise, they have that experience. And sometimes when smaller organizations are selling vehicles, they can benefit wildly from taking advantage of somebody who offers up remarketing services, who has that experience, who can aggregate volumes, who has the systems, and has the wherewithal in the team to get you the best money for your cars as quickly as you can. That's a remarketer.
I got it. Okay. So the consignor is going to be sending the volume in auctions. Is that right?
Yeah. I use the terms institutional and commercial consignor kind of interchangeably. But guess what? They represent the smallest percentage of the cars. The biggest percent comes from the dealer consignors. The challenge with that is it's a lot more fragmented. And the dealer consignors, I think there's a lot more pressure underneath them because they can retail it or they can wholesale it. So their sales rates typically are a little bit lower. And depending upon the organization, they could be part of a big dealer group or a single rooftop. So the dealer consignor is the broadest, most diverse group out there, but they represent in aggregate the most cars that are coming to auctions, whether they're online or physical auctions.
Mm.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So if you're an auction, a physical auction or an online auction, your customer is the dealer and you want the dealer to give you wholesale units to run through your auction to sell to other dealers. Is that right?
Correct, 100%. That's the overall goal. And when we look at, the overall consignor right now, and I'm sure Dave is aware of this, Skye and Rich, is that when we saw during COVID, the leasing stopped. A lot of the OEMs aren't running the vehicles they used to run through the auction, which are those off-fleet units. We're seeing less of those because primarily leasing stopped. And as we talked about earlier on during the news, what we're seeing are those customers that had leases are buying those cars out, right? So there's less of those cars running through the lanes, which puts a lot of pressure then on the dealer itself to find quality inventory to stock their shelf with. So the question we've been asking at ECB is, how do we get ahead of this? What products do we have to get to those cars, right? And we have an interesting product that we're going to, and I heard you talk about it during the news segment, we're going to people's driveways, right? Like that's how, when we talk about adapting to the industry and where we're at, we got to start thinking of outside the box ways to get to the inventory when we're not seeing the consignment run through the physical and the digital lanes.
Wow.
Which you just made me think of, like, Jason Rice has been talking a lot at Lot Pop about predictive analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And again, let's be honest, it's difficult to talk to some dealers about predictive analytics, right? When you've got guys that have been in the business for 40 or 50 years. I mean, that's what I love about it. Take a look at Skye's company. Like, even his technology, being to arm the dealers with the information that they need when they're using multiple sources in order to make educated decisions. But where I see the industry scaling is having those predictive analytics in order to make buying decisions. Many of you saw the article that was written this week about dealers having to make great inventory decisions at the time of when the consumer trades that vehicle in. It's been shared multiple times across the internet this week. Yep. And I mean, I look at it a step further. We talk about physical and digital lanes, right? I was talking to a great partner today. How did that car end up at the auction? So Dave really outlined it very good about the different consignors that are there. When you take a look at the dealership consignment that Dave went over, and you look at why that car ended up at the auction, I feel like right now more than ever, we have a lot of our partners walking around there saying, why is that car here? Why is it not being sold? And
where's the snake in the trunk? Where's the snake in the trunk?
And that's why you're seeing the conversion rates currently go down. Everybody's sort of looking at each other saying, hey,
whoa, yeah.
Why 2 months ago that car was here? I bought it, it was sold. Why is it here today? And the reason is, as new cars ship into the stores and there's new car inventory, and we talk about our friends at one of the manufacturers talk about not wanting to incentivize cars. We have other manufacturers that are going out there right now proactively and putting incentives on their new cars. So that makes it harder on those used car inventories.
Interesting. Well, Rich, what are you thinking there, buddy?
Well, you just hit a trigger with me on incentives. Psychologically, the manufacturers shot themselves in the foot when they started incentives because they've trained the public that the only way to buy a new car is with an incentive. No incentive, no purchase. Move on. Now they're trying to reverse that course. And this kind of takes us back to, why are they forcing us to drive, or why are we buying the trucks? Why are we driving? I believe it comes down to two words: cooperation and collaboration. Big organizations want you to cooperate with the way they want to do business. Smaller entrepreneurial outfits want you to collaborate with them. When you collaborate, you work together for a shared mutual beneficial outcome. To cooperate means you're watching your margins, your profits, your sales numbers. You don't give a crap about the people or who you're working with. So it comes down to, are you cooperating with me or are you collaborating with me?
Deep.
Philosophical.
Well, this might be a good time to go ahead and plug Rich's book. I may have a copy of it somewhere.
Mine was over on the nightstand. I can't get to it.
Mine's behind the wall. I could dig it out.
Everybody's is off camera.
I'll grab it while you keep talking.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Okay, that's
Skye,
perfect.
being on the panel, is it like an OEM rebate where I get 25% off the cost of the book? That's my only question. That's
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll find out when Rich gets back. Oh, he's already got a copy.
Okay,
there
there
it
we
is.
go.
Put it in there where we can see it.
Yes.
So it's a book. I wrote it's my experience, and I was doing it wrong. I was managing everything. I was all about, I call it the 4 Ps: the plans, the profits, the processes, and the productivity. And I left out the people. Once I discovered that you got to put people before all those other Ps, then you can get what you want. So basically, this is my life story. You're doing it wrong. Yes, I was doing it wrong. There's so many other organizations out there that I believe are doing it wrong. And then I walk through, how to fix it, how I would believe you'd fix it. Not that it's going to work for everybody, including my values and what I use to, get myself out of the 4 bad Ps to get into the good P, which is the people.
Good deal.
So I want to take it over because Skye, I shared it in the news. You sent me a thing about buy fees.
Yes.
All right. Would
It's,
you put that in the doing it wrong category?
It's well, car dealers are like elephants. They never forget. And that's the thing that, I always gently remind people is you always got to do good by the car dealer. No matter where you are on the spectrum, whether it's a transporter, a detailer, an auction, a title service, they never forget a bad experience. Never, ever forget. And when you're doing it good, you're doing your job. But you slip and there's a problem, that's no bueno.
Better fix it quick.
All right. So what other doing it wrongness do we have? I mean, whether it's arbitration, maybe there's titling issues I'm not aware of. You know what? There's probably a lot of ways to do it wrong.
Oh man, there's so much. There's even just the digitization, and I could speak directly today on the digitization in an experience I had. Actually, today, I'll tell you, because I obviously use the One Auction View software for finding and buying my cars all over the United States. So I bought 2 cars all over the country today, one in Florida, seamless transaction, and then I bought one in Texas, obviously a Jeep Wrangler, because I buy Jeep Wranglers, and this was at Edge Pipeline. Edge Pipeline is a fantastic aggregator of independent auctions, but where they fail is on the execution of their digital buyer trying to check out. I'm a digital buyer. I bought a car, a $52,000 Jeep Wrangler. I didn't buy a $5,000 Camry. I bought a $52,000 vehicle, and I don't want to sit on the phone and babysit someone at the auction. Hey, dude, send me the invoice so I could wire you the money. I just want to click, 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 and the money gets zapped out of my account. I don't want to have to call the auction 3 times like I did today. 3 times. I called the auction today trying to tell them, hey, can you send me the invoice? So that is, these are, if I'm having this problem, every dealer is also having this problem.
Sorry, this is,
That's amazing. Thank you.
Wait.
Telling us. I mean,
So can you name the auction by chance? It was independent auctions typically have the pipeline, right? So
Yeah, Metro out of Dallas.
Oh, Metro Dallas. Okay, so this one was the one that was the hard to check out. The other one, no problem.
No
Can
problem.
we say the name live?
Yeah, we can. That was Odessa.
Odessa, no problem. Bought one in Odessa, Florida, no problem. You get to Metro, independent, pipeline, problem.
Probably.
And here's the upside. Somebody's going to hear about this and be like, man, can we fix that problem?
Yeah, call me. I'll help.
Yeah, and I mean, let's fix it,
Call
man.
me.
Well, yeah.
Don't stay in the doing
I was thinking
around.
about
Yeah.
I was thinking about Kelly Bianchi with.
That's what I was
auction
thinking about.
e-commerce.
Kelly, right now, Kelly
Where's Kelly?
is yelling at the camera.
I mean,
What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
She is.
A user should not have that experience. Think about when you go on an app, whatever it may be, you want to transact. ACV, you guys have it down to a science. You buy something, bam, it's done. Check out, it's floored, it's wired, however you want it. However we want to eat it, you got it. I love that. And most of these other players have it, but not everybody has it dialed. There's a lot of choppiness in the market, and as dealers now are sharpening their teeth when they're buying, the last thing that they want is a bad experience in central United States or East Coast or West Coast when they're trying to buy a car.
So another
Guy,
question.
Let's be
ahead.
honest, guy. They're as a dealer, right? You guys are so used to having those issues, not only centered around auctions, but with every third-party vendor that you use. So we've created this monster, right? So as new technology or new companies come into our scope, they don't make it a priority to fill those voids. And what you're saying is, it took me this long. My time and efficiency means this much to me. And that's why it is so vitally important for people that are watching this podcast to understand that's where the innovation, that's where the money needs to go to. And that's why there's guys like me that's sitting in a hotel room in Syracuse, New York, taking care of a customer that has a similar issue than you. And I'm here face to face. I'm not on Zoom. I'm not putting you on hold. I'm correcting the issue because we have such a customer service issue in our industry, and we need to fix it.
Spot on. You're absolutely correct. I call it the DMV persona, and it absolutely drives me nuts. Some of these entities feel like they're the DMV. They just sit back. Hey, the money just going to come. The check's just going to roll in. I don't have to care. I can do my job. Mediocre.
There are locations doing that. Yeah.
As a car dealer of 20 years, I've experienced everything from everybody. And that is, guys, why I got in software, because I just said, I'm sick and tired. I'm done. I'm going to fix it.
Wow.
That's the motivation. That's where it came from.
Well, you just motivated me because I'm a big independent guy, and I hate to hear that there's problems with the independent auction.
That surprised me too, but maybe it's a technology. It's not a human problem. It's a technology problem. Is it?
Yes, technology problem. In America's, because I bought from America's auction all over several of their locations. Checkout, click, 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 done, easy. And that's what I want. I don't want to call anybody, babysit.
America's has pipeline, is that right?
Yeah, they do, but they have a checkout process.
So it's a checkout process. Okay. And now explain the checkout process just real quick. I want to hear it. How does that work? I bought a car.
Most every auction has a checkout process, and the checkout process usually consists of, just like when you're on Amazon. Every one of us here on Amazon buys stuff, or eBay. You go on, you click buy, but instead of buying toothpaste for $3, you're buying a car for $30,000-$40,000, and you're just clicking checkout. Where you want the title? Where do you want it? Do you want transport? Do you need help with that? Do you need PSI? Do you need flooring? Do you want that car floored? So you just check these 4 boxes, what you want, and they're all standardized fields. It's not like there's some special handling for each transaction. It's just, I'm buying this car. This is how I want to pay. This is the PSI. This is it. It's just, let me give you my money and move on with life. That's it. And it's just rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. That's it.
Right, because if you ordered on Amazon and they're like, yeah, well, Soap? Like really?
Yeah.
It's good info because the pipeline's making some big moves in the industry.
There we go. I was just going to hand it over to Dave. Dave?
Hey, I was looking for an opportunity to jump in, so thanks for inviting me. So I know the great folks at Auction Edge who are the purveyors of pipeline. They do have some new technology coming out, manage your purchases. And part of that is, do you want the post-sale inspection? Do you want transportation? You can get an instant quote. We hope that that's live by the end of March, beginning of April, where you can say, look, here's the price. We already know what the vehicle is that you've just purchased. We know the store that you're registered with. We know where the vehicle is. We can shoot you a price. And so I'm really, really excited. In my remarketing career, I've done a couple of big integrations. This is the biggest one. And working closely with them, they needed a technology partner and a transportation partner, but it's all in their manage the purchases. So after you buy a number of cars, you have to decide what you want to do with them, loading the gate passes with them, etc. So I think you're going to see, I don't know the exact circumstance that you went through, Skye, but I am on a call with several of the executives with Auction Edge tomorrow at 1:00. If you don't mind, I'm going to bring up your comments. You'll get a call.
There's
They'll
my
get it fixed.
contact.
Well, all right. I'll send you the link.
We're going to work together as a panel to make you a happy customer.
And then there'll be a follow-up show called "How Do You Like Them Apples?"
No. We don't want to be snarky or sassy like that. We just want to take care of one another.
How do you like those apples?
No. That is not going to happen.
Oh, no.
That's good, buddy. Yeah. It just, technology, guys, technology should solve solutions for the end user. And that's what I'm a big purveyor in making sure that it's easy for end users to use and for them to adapt and adopt that technology. That's where it's at. I mean, any of us could have the neatest, latest, greatest mousetrap, but if people aren't using it, don't know how to use it, what good is it?
Okay, so this might be a decent segue into physical brick and mortar versus online, right? Skye's been for years, if I think. You've been an online guy,
ahead
right?
of the curve, right?
Way ahead. You've been buying online forever.
Yeah, I bought OVE my first time 10 years ago, my first car 10 years ago, but 3.5 years ago, I moved 100% digital. I got tired of inhaling exhaust fumes in the lane, but I spent 17 years of my career sitting in the lane, knowing all the auctioneers, driving 4,000 or 5,000 miles a month, driving everywhere. And so I do miss my friends at the auctions. I'll be honest with you. I have a lot of really good people that I miss in the lanes, but when I was there in the lanes, waiting for Bob 375 and they're on Bob 15 and I'm calling the office, I'm emailing, I'm texting, I'm thinking, this is so horribly inefficient that I got to wait here till Bob 375 shows up eating my auction hot dog. You know what I mean?
I do. So, but here's one of the questions I've got, because the consignors that there's this repo stuff, right? Repos is a big topic right now. Is repos a big topic?
Yes.
And
They're
it's
coming.
something
They're coming.
They're coming, and they're where are they going to go? Where all the repo? Even if half the repos that we think, so there's a number, it's a big number, repos are coming. We've been hearing it for a while. I mean, I remember Paul Machine, Black Book, telling us one night on the show, he's like, dude, it's coming. So here we are. It's still coming, but I'm just curious, where do those physical cars that get physically repoed, where do they go? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
In my experience, they largely end up at the physical auction. There's a couple of reasons for that. As the agents pick up those vehicles, if there's a physical auction close by that's part of that consignor's network, they want them to take it there to avoid a lot of storage fees. They have to go through the redemption period where the the consumer, the person who financed that vehicle, has a chance to pick up the vehicle. And if they can, great. If sometimes they have to either deliver them back to that customer, and so that can get really expensive. Usually, by the time they repo the car, if it's an involuntary repo, which is important, big distinction, because in my background I failed to give it, and it's almost sad, because I added up all the years. It means I should have retired 5 years ago, but I'm not even 60 yet. But when I started out, I was with GM for 14 years. Then I was with IBM doing consulting and strategy stuff for 5 years. Volkswagen Credit managing auction ops for 10 years. Carfax for 10 years, and going on 3 years with Montway. I mean, that's a lot. But when you hear the word repo, it's amazing. If you look at the Highline cars, a very, very high percentage of those cars are voluntary repos. Somebody screwed up. They bought a car they shouldn't have bought. Life happened. They had a medical, unexpected bills, etc. They turned the keys in. So I just want to be sure that we as an industry, we don't besmirch. Just because a car has been repossessed doesn't mean it's a bad car at all.
Oh,
Now, but if it was repoed and it was picked up, the repo agents, it's not like you might see on reality TV. Those guys want to get in, get out, get there safely, handle the vehicle safely, get it back, so their customer can sell it for the most money possible. And so that's another important thing, is the person who maybe they're in over their head. Life has given them a bad outcome for whatever reason. The more money that car sells for, the less that person is responsible for. So it's in everyone's best interest to pick up the car quickly, keep it safe, give them a chance to redeem it. If they can't, sell the car for the highest possible price. And so when we think about repos, good cars, don't badge a car or repo as a bad car. Look at the car on its own merits, look at the condition report, look at the pictures. And right now, I think those are going to represent perhaps some of the best cars out there. Because as I talk to my friends who are still consignors, there's not a lot of lease returns coming back. So company cars are going to the dealers who are on dealer council for the big OEMs. They're not going to show up at the physical auto auction. So I would just encourage dealers out there, keep an open mind. You're going to see a lot of repossessed vehicles out there. But again, a repossessed vehicle just means somebody couldn't make the note, and it doesn't mean it's a lousy car.
So can I ask Dave a follow-up question, just because of his knowledge? So Dave, my question is for you. You brought up a lot of great points there about, the customer and repos. Does a customer have a better opportunity digitally of getting more money for the car to help pay back the loan at a digital sale versus relying on a physical auction base when the car runs through a physical auction?
I think the market that you sell it in, not all digital sales are the same, and not all physical auctions are the same. So the best opportunity you have is typically the consignor, whoever owns a vehicle, they're not going to spend very much of any money enhancing the vehicle. Maybe getting that cracked windshield replaced or doing some other stuff. They're thinking that's good money after bad. So I think it's whoever can provide the best eyes on that vehicle. And when you look at the physical auction companies, a good consignor should know not only for their brand of vehicles, the age of the vehicles, but the condition of the vehicle, which auctions will get them the best money. Because it's all driven by the dealers who go there, whether they're online or in the lane. For example, when I was with VW, Audi, great company, great experience, awesome team that I had there. If we were selling cars up in the New Jersey area, if it was an edgier car, I'd sell it at Odessa, New Jersey, and I'd get awesome money for it. If I sold that same car at Mannheim, New Jersey, I wouldn't get as much for it. But if it was a car that wasn't damaged, was a real clean car, I'd get more money at Mannheim, New Jersey. So a good consignor knows their market. They look at value retention based upon condition grade. And if they're not dialed into the analytics, they're not doing a good job for their company. The gut feel stuff is great, but you got to look at value retention. And back, oh boy, a long time ago, it was about 19 something. And when I was working for Volkswagen Credit, I think I was one of the first guys who really looked at value retention seriously. We did it by our high volume models. We did mileage adjustments. We did it percent of MSRP. We did color adjustments. We did regional adjustments. And we really, just challenged the auction and said, based upon the vehicles that we're going to give you, it's almost like a golf handicap system. You need to be retaining value, and you need to be selling the cars at this clip. If you did this, we were great. If not, then you got less cars. If you did great, you got more cars. Remarketing is pretty simple. Good data, and it's really easy, if you don't understand it, to screw up and make bad decisions for your company. And guess what? The smartest guys out there are the dealers, because they know the retail market and they will pick you clean. And because all the money in the used car business is on the buy. You can say all you want about F&I, but they're really good dealers. They know how to buy well. And they look for you to make a mistake. And you could look at them as they are demons or they're bad, or that you could say, okay, that's steel sharpened steel. And so if you can keep up with them as a remarketer, as a consignor, you're doing great.
Bingo. I piggyback off David. You're spot on. You're definitely a car dog. I could tell, but you're absolutely correct. And off of James' comment, I think it's interesting segue with the industry that I'm kind of wondering if we're going to see some digital assets from the banks going digital with some of these venues like ACV, Backlot Cars, and so forth. Obviously, Smart Auction does that. Smart Auction is selling, bank vehicles on Smart Auction. So it's there, but obviously they have a relationship with these physical auctions where they can keep those assets. So yep. To your point, David, I think you're right that there has to be some sort of, solution where maybe it's these physical assets are going to show up at these big auctions, the ADESA or the Mannheims who have the big footprints. And those are going to be the meat packing plants where the meat's going to go in, it's going to go there. And then obviously there's going to be a processing, and then then the car's going to go in and go out. And maybe there's going to be a relationship with multiple different entities if it can be negotiated. I don't know. Maybe that's.
I think what I heard, Skye, from Dave, he said two important things: opportunity and data. Right, that is the key: opportunity and data. And as these digital auctions, like ACV, increase our footprint, right, there's going to be more data that's going to be driven, that's going to come out to our partners in order for them to make better decisions. And again, it goes back to education, right? I think, Dave, what worries me about this topic is the fact that we know we have a whole bunch coming, right? So when you look at a whole bunch and the bottom line, we all need to have two things: opportunity and data to make the most educated that we can. And I got the belt for the first time. I love it.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can.
And I think
how about an applause?
And Rich, come on.
It's important to talk about, that I think this is my pitch. I always remind dealers that the auctions are the best place to source cars. It's the least amount of brain damage, because when you buy off the street or you buy private party, you're having to do the deal twice. You're having to negotiate hard to get that car and deal with the nonsense with the public. If there's a payoff or there's a story or whatever it may be, and then getting the car to the dealership, and then you got to recon it and sell it. So you're really working really hard to do that. Whereas the auctions, if you find a good buy at the auction, you get something back a market because you sourced right. You may be more ahead than that consumer that's going to hang on to every last wooden nickel because they're not going to short sell that car private party. Whereas at the auction, you may get it, $2-3 back.
Now that's an interesting argument, because we've heard so much about vehicle buying centers and consumer driveway acquisition that, I smell another show.
Auctions. I'm your auction guy. I love auctions, and I think
Dave just loved that segment right there. Yeah.
Hey, so Ty, back to your question on the root cause of why cars go to auction, repos go to auction. It's rooted in law, because you have to establish fair market value in order to sue the debtor that defaulted on the loan.
Yep.
Fair market value is established by 3 live bids.
Yep, I just couldn't say 3. Yep.
If you don't have 3 live, so one bid doesn't work. You can't put like a lease return, you can put out on the market and say, I want X number of dollars for this car. Somebody buys it and away they go, one-time buy. You cannot do that with a repossessed vehicle because it does not establish fair market value, even if somebody's willing to pay more than book for that car. Because once it goes, let's say they pay $25,000 for a car that's worth $20,000, but they owe $30,000, which is a realistic event right now. You go to court and you're going to lose as the seller because you did not establish fair market value for that car because you only had one bid.
Mm. Well, kind of not on the same topic, but we had the Repo Bunch show, I think last week or the week before, and we learned procurement. You can't just go willy-nilly pick these cars up. They have to sit. Have you heard of that, Rich?
It's been a long time since I've been on the collection side on that far down, but I have talked to a couple of repo agents that I've met through you guys. But a lot of this is turning into consumer law. I went through, it's been almost 10 years now, but I went through the consumer CFPB training that, NAF does, National Auto Finance Association. So I went through all that and sat and listened to these lawyers talk for a week straight and then have to take a test. Everything has gotten so convoluted anymore and so rooted into the consumer that it makes this buying process for dealers. I see Skye shaking. Skye, I think I've sold you a couple cars in the past. But anyway, these guys, it makes their job more difficult.
Wait, you just said you sold Skye cars and then kept going. Now, wait a minute. How did that happen?
I'm pretty sure Skye picked up the phone and called me one time because he bought a Jeep Wrangler that he couldn't go click, 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 click all the way through. And I had to march my happy little butt into the accounting office and go, can we just get the guy an invoice? And then I have to hear all the, well, I got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all the way through the alphabet to get there. And I'm like, I honestly think, I don't know if it wasn't you, Skye, it was somebody that bought one just doing the same process. I picked up the phone and said, it's going to be X. Can I type this on a Word document? Will that work?
Let me get out my pager.
Yeah, matrix printers for the car business. We have the Okidatas.
Hold on, I'm tearing off the dots.
So one of the interesting dynamics that I see going on is everybody keeps talking about going to digital everything, and now you've got Chat GPT out and all this AI technology. There's one thing that's never going to change on the face of the earth, and that's we're all human beings, and we have to have relationships in order to survive. We are tribal by nature. If you get rid of that and go all digital, I mean, I was at a convention sitting next to you, Ty, and we were listening to, I'm not going to say who it was, we were listening to an expert up on the stage speak, and they said the next thing coming is we're going to write CRs and no one's ever going to touch that car. You're going to go online, you're going to buy it, and it's going to be delivered to you, and you're never going to talk to anybody. And I remember looking at you, and I put my hands on my face, and I said, who on God's green earth wants that kind of experience every single day?
People.
Well, let's be honest. Rich has got a great point. Like at ACB, and he said people earlier. The most important people we have in our company are vehicle condition inspectors that are spending time with dealers like Skye every single day, going over the condition of that car with that dealer. But I have to ask Rich a question, because he put something in the chat, and it's a thing I get all the time. And Ty, you know me, I'm always trying to learn. He said, as long as the data that you're presenting isn't biased. So I have to ask the second question being, Rich, what makes the data correct? What do you need to see in order to validate the data that you're getting? And then would you say that in the past, with all the data that presented to guys, to you specifically, that there's so much of it being biased that you can't trust anything that you see?
I'm going to try to boil this down as simple as I can keep it so I can even understand what I'm going to say. When you have data, so it's just like when you're treating people. Whatever your value system is or your purpose is going to drive your data. So if you're collecting data for one purpose, and that's only to drive the price of a car, sell more cars, or whatever it is, you're going to start pulling in biases that are going to tweak your data to get what you want, but not necessarily what maybe the other party wants. And here's the easiest example to point out to this is in the early 2000s and mid 2000s, we'll use law enforcement. They started using data, predictive data, to say where are hotspots in a city going to be. And then guess what they do? Everything they were collecting was based on hotspots. Well, who was reporting the hotspots? What kind of data was it? It was all based on how much money you made, what the reputation of the neighborhood was, what was the ethnicity in that neighborhood. And then all of a sudden they're like, bam, they're hitting these neighborhoods and they're doing all these arrests in there. Same thing happens with every other data. If you clutter your data, you mix your data, and it's not pure, and it's hard, you're never going to get pure data. But if your biases and your purpose and your values distort that information to get what you want in the end and not what is needed, you got biased data.
That's bold right there. Sorry. Yeah.
Is that what you wanted, James?
That's what I wanted. It's gold.
So Rich just made some really, really good points. I was fortunate. My first job or first company was work for EDSGM. And I was trained, I worked as part of a group called the Decision Support Center of the GM Research Labs in Warren, Michigan. And through some dumb luck, I was assigned projects, and I worked as a financial analyst, project manager underneath this young Canadian guy named Steve Carlisle. So Steve has done probably much better than I have, considering I think he's president of GM North America these days. But that was one of the things we were doing back in that days, is looking at when we collected data and we did crazy technical stuff. And no, Jay, this is not a show on 1050/90 risk analysis, risk assessment out of Stanford.
What is
but
it?
Yeah, it's not a show. It's not a show for this group. We can talk about it over a bourbon in Las Vegas. But the reality is, whenever we as humans absorb information, we're already looking through it through our own lens, our own biases. And the best thing you can do is say, who collected the data? What's in here? You need to understand the data and be able to cleanse it and filter it. Because what you get isn't pure and ready to use. You need to be smart enough, or have people on your team smart enough to filter it a little bit better so you can use it to make great decisions. Because the value of data, and this is something that was pounded into me when I was young and handsome, had a lot of hair, was data is only as valuable as the decisions you're using the data for. That's the value of data.
Actionable.
Yes.
Well, are we going to need physical auctions and online auctions for 2023? Are we going to stick with the year of the hybrid? Remember that, Jay?
I think everything's hybrid. I mean, literally,
hybrid.
Everything is hybrid. Even hybrids are selling better than EVs. I'm pretty sure that was the late statistic. Anyways, hybrid is the model. Yeah, it's still the year of the hybrid.
Well, we may have brought the year of the hybrid in, and what was that, 2020? We kept throwing that around.
Something like that. Yeah.
Year of the hybrid. Well, I mean, one of the things that's always intrigued me, I'm still a physical auction guy and would probably go to one tomorrow. Actually, I will, just because I thought of it. But I go for networking and to learn and to find out what you're doing and what you're doing and how have you been and how's your daughter or your cat or your dog.
And John Clay Wolf is literally doing hybrid. He's doing digital in a physical setting.
Yeah, is that the one in Dallas where he put the casino in?
Yeah.
It looks like a casino.
It looks like a casino.
Yeah, he's doing it live walkthrough.
And I even think you can get a bourbon there, Dave. So that'll be good.
They're all going.
Definitely got my attention.
Well, so the consignor is the auction. Let's say that is it fair to say the auction is interested in inventory for 2023? That's going to maybe be a topic.
Oh, that's very fair. You know, a car to an auction, considering all the sales admin fees, the PSI fees, the buy fees, you know, the number I like to think about is a car that an auction receives from the consignor that the auction sells is worth on average $800 in revenue. That's a big deal.
Whoa. One car at an auction.
car.
Average revenue $800.
Add it
You've
up.
got the
You
buy
look at-
side and the sell side, and then the nickel and dime fees.
Yep, nickel and dime fees. Absolutely.
And who pays for those? Me, the car dealer.
You
Skye,
do.
I'm glad you came tonight.
Well,
Whoa.
I just
Hey,
like to
Rick.
remind people because I am a car dealer at heart. I always will be, even in software, which I'm very immersed in that now. But I'm still, my allegiance is still to the car dealer.
and Ty, I think your first question to anybody, any auction that you're dealing with, should be, what are your fees? If they can't tell you what their fees are, then you got a problem right out of the gate, right? Let's go and say, hey, what are your fees? Let's have a conversation about it. Rich, you're full of great questions today. So he posted one up there, and if my buddy Will Morris was not on this panel, he would tell you the same thing. He goes, what's more important, the buyer or the seller? And everybody knows this, Rich. I learned this very early on in my auction days. Cars are bought at an auction, right? Let's be honest. The consignors are your partners. It's very important, right? But cars are bought at an auction. And what we're finding, and you guys know this, buying cars, like I've been in the auctions for 20 years, the buyers go to the auction that they trust the most, the ones that are most transparent. So when you hear me talking about asking about fees, like that's transparency, right? That's trust. And those are the auction that fill their lanes with people, right? Cars are sold, not bought.
Come on, take the mute off, Rich. Let's go.
There's another show.
Cars are sold. They're not bought. You can't. You have to sell it before you can buy it. You can't buy it if it's never sold. So
Well, you
you
can't
have
sell
to.
it if
It's got to be sold first.
You can't sell from an empty shelf.
Correct.
That's right. So which
yeah.
side do you think I grew up on?
I've never heard an auctioneer say bought.
They always say sold.
There we go.
We're
That's
on to
great.
something.
I love it. We got it. We got it all figured out.
That's the name of
Okay.
the show. Bought. See?
Always a
There
new
it is.
show. Always.
Always another show.
Guys, I can't tell you how just happy this makes me. James,
This
especially
was
having
an
you
awesome panel
really
tonight.
good conversation. Good job.
And
Thank you.
before, and, I don't want to forget this. I got two notes here. Yep. Okay, number one, is there like a wheel, like a color wheel that tells you in percentages the types of repo cars? These are highly messed up. These are good value cars. Do you get, I don't know. How does one get a sense of the mix of the repoed cars? Is there nothing there?
Usually it's by the seller or who the consignor is and what kind of paper they're selling. Somebody mentioned Highline cars. If you're selling, I think it was you, David, if you're selling Highline cars, they're going to be nice cars. If you're selling subprime or deep subprime paper, or buy here, pay here type paper, maybe JD Bywriter stuff, it's going to be rough. Yeah.
Red light.
It's going to be a 1 on that CI report.
Ask
And then
Larry.
we're going to do an inspection on it at the auction. We're going to put it on a lift, and then we're going to do a 3-day buyer beware, but we're going to give you 3 days. As long as it doesn't break in half by the time you get it on the truck with some other stipulations, we're going to go ahead and sell it to you.
Yeah. Really, Jay, I think the condition report, kind of falls into the category I think you're asking about. And when Rich is saying the seller, the paper, like if it says Bridgecrest or Toyota Financial or Nissan Motor Acceptance Corp, there's a chance it's either a repo or, and tell me if I'm wrong, anybody, but a repo or a lease turn-in. Is that fair?
That's very fair.
Who the seller is. So when you see the seller, you've got a pretty good indication. Then you look at the condition report and it'll tell you this is not probably, and Skye knows condition reports really well.
Live by it. Live by it. Literally.
And good buyers like Skye probably know if they walk into a Toyota financial lane, they're going to know by the car if it's a repo or if it's a lease return. There's usually there's a sign in there, how they announce it, or they put an account number in there. There's some little trick of the trade that'll say, hey, this is a lease return versus this is a repo. But the other thing is on those lease returns, if we'll use Toyota because we talked about that example. If that Toyota financial, it's a Toyota, let's say it's Toyota Camry, makes it all the way to the lane, that means the original dealer passed on it. That means every other Toyota dealership passed on it. So now it's in the lane for you to bid on it. So the question goes back to is, why is this car here?
Yep. Exactly. And Rich, that car usually showed up online for a week before it got sent to the physical auction. So not only did the Toyota dealer pass on it, any other dealers passed on it that could have bought it for that first look period that wasn't exclusive to Toyota. Then it goes through the lane and it's like Yahtzee. So to your point, that's spot on.
Yeah, but let me just offer this, having been around when we first started selling vehicles online auction, and then those that weren't sold with the physical auction, you're really counting on that team that's doing the floor price to make it right. They've got to put a good floor on it. They've got to have robust bidding, because if they're off, if they overprice the car, the dealers are no dummies. They're going to pass on it. They're going to wait, maybe take a look at it. They'll know based upon where that vehicle is. Oh, well, that's a Volkswagen credit car. It's in Michigan. That car's going to be in Chicago next week or the week after then. So I'm going to go there and bid on the car, see it in person. So don't give too much credit, because if it's sold or not sold online, it's largely a function of price for the car that's being offered. And if they've mispriced it, dealers are no dummies. They're not going to buy a car that's overpriced. And it may take till it gets to the physical auction before the market really sets the price and sets it right. So just a consideration.
Hey, James, that was a perfect example of biased data, because what I spewed out basically said there is a problem with this car, and David totally interpreted a different way to say, are you really sure there's not a problem with this car? Maybe it was in the seller had the problem and not the car had a problem.
Correct.
Good. It's good stuff. Well,
okay,
I could learn
the
a lot
last
for
part.
sure.
The last part was this, because we're talking about doing it right and what's been done wrong. And I just want to point out again, and this is where the car certification program, different side of what we're talking about, becomes it is a very helpful way. Where do you think I got the quiz show answers tonight? I was looking at the NAAA site, but I know that, tell me more. Fill us in. How does NAAA and CAR and this education around the auction, how has it played out, and why are people so psyched about being CAR certified?
I kind of have to address that, but I asked the other guys to jump in. So a long time ago, when we were developing the curriculum, and I mentioned the names before, but I was the third person to get CAR certified a long time ago. How it comes into play is, and I'm a firm believer, and so are the other people like Scott Kolb, and I could name drop like crazy, but the reason why it's important is, if you understand the ecosystem, if you understand the business from the dealer's perspective, from the transporter's perspective, from the physical auction perspective, from the bank that's dealing with repos, if you understand that all remarketers are not the same, all auctions are not the same, all consignors aren't the same, if you understand, it's sort of like you're playing on a football team. You don't just need to study your position as an offensive lineman. You need to understand the overall strategy of the game. And that's why education is so important. So you can be a better player for your company, but also be a better partner to your auctions and the other people in the ecosystem that you interact with. That's why it's so darn important.
Now, I got a question on the NAAA. I've read a lot of the arbitration guidelines just because I'm a smart dealer, but not all auctions subscribe to NAAA arbitration or guidelines. Usually, from what I've experienced, are only the physical auctions subscribe to those guidelines. Digital auctions usually have their own arbitration guidelines. ACV, you guys have one. Backlot Cars has one. I think Smart Auction as well, and there's a couple other ones as well. It just shed some light on there. I don't know if everyone's familiar with that.
Yeah, I think with digital auctions, especially with ACV, we're wrapping arbitration around our condition report, right? I mean, that's the biggest key. Skye almost said this 5 minutes ago. You're a firm believer in this. The CR report will set you free, right? The CR report will set you free. So I know you guys have done shows about condition reports, but that really needs to be another show, because being at NADA and taking a look at the advancements and condition reports, and we use Dave's point about physical and digital, condition reports are going to be vital moving forward. So I can hopefully make Rich smile and earn his trust on the data that I show him based off the condition reports he views.
Yeah, they should be transparent. I think I love that you have that on your background. Transparency is something word I use all the time. That the wholesale industry lacks transparency in general. Which is real weird is the retail side wants the consumer wants complete transparency of Carfax and history and what for everything, the invoice, what service you did to it. But you go to the auction, it's like, we're not telling you anything. It's as is, messed up. It's cut in half. There's no title. You may never get it. And I mean, as a dealer, first and foremost, transparency is something that's so important to me. And as a software founder, that is a huge hot button for me is transparency. I think we should all be synergistic in sharing and working with whatever we have knowledge wise. If we're an auction, we need to make sure, to James' point, that CR is absolutely indicative of every aspect of that vehicle, representing the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, and just to run out that point is that our investment money currently is being spent on technology to support our condition report writer. So listen, it's very difficult to take a ton of employees out in the field and get them to rinse and repeat every single condition report that they write. But here's what technology can do. It can arm them with the best tools to make the best decisions. So many of you guys saw at NADA, we came out with something called Apex. It's a better sound system to listen to the engine. It will actually smell the interior of the car. So the way Rich smells the interior of the car, the way I smell the interior of the car, it's aligned as one, right? There's no subjectation to figuring out, is that a baby throw up or what is that smell? So technology with people, which Rich brought up at the beginning, arming your people with the best tools and to make a better condition report is where the industry needs to go.
Wait, I'm gonna close with a trick question for you guys. Who is ultimately responsible for the proper disclosure of the vehicle, regardless of what venue it's sold on? Where does the buck stop? Who's responsible?
Seller.
Seller, absolutely. And so there are some lazy consignors out there that they need to get out there and know it better. You can't subcontract that to a condition report writer. You can't subcontract it out to the auction. You ultimately, as a seller, you're representing your brand, your company. And that's why I think some consignors do better on the same exact product, because they do a great job disclosing, backing it up, working with the dealers, because they're ultimately responsible. They don't blame the CR writers.
The consignors that are on the block, if you're at a physical sale, on the block, representing their cars day in and day out, are the ones that are always going to bring more money because they're there and they're trustworthy. It's the ones that are repping remotely or not at all.
Yes. And those guys too, see that I know that guy. I know Dave up on the block, and that guy's turns out he makes friends with the guys down in the lane buying the cars, like drinks a cup of coffee with them. Hey, how you doing? That kind of stuff. Hey, buddy, help me out on this one. Okay. And I'm sure everybody else has, where the dealer will actually help out the consignor guy, give him a couple extra $100 because next week he took care of him, back and forth relationship, right?
Horse trading, it's all give and take. That's the car business. It's people, it's relationships, it's give and take. It's not just a take for any side.
It's not my ETA is my ETA. Come on, you'll get it when you get it.
Well, and I was going to say, this is good. It brings us around because as talking about understanding the ecosystem, once again, I mean, it's good. And talk about a lazy consignor. It's easy to stay focused on what is important to you, but if you really want to,
if you want to make it big, tune into ATI every Tuesday night.
Oh shoot,
Bang.
Man, that was a perfect.
Guys, that was really good.
Thank you. That was amazing. I feel like we can keep going, but we're at a decent stopping point. And then,
This is a great crew. This would be another crew to have on
know.
again. This has really been good. I've really learned a lot, guys. Thank you.
No joke. I mean, yeah, Ty, thanks for helping me put this together. I mean, you assembled this,
everybody.
and wow, stellar.
It's a great group. Great group.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good show. Good show. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
gentlemen.
guys.
We'll be
Talk to
seeing
you later.
We'll see you at the next trade show. All right. Okay, there they go. They're signing off. Thanks, guys, so much. All right, and we, I don't know what we did there. We just, that was amazing, actually. It's quite a show. Feel really good about that. Thanks for jumping in the live chat, saying hello. And if you've got an idea for ATI, we want to know what it is. Whether it's feedback, show idea, somebody we should talk to. I'm scheduling Zoom meetings all the time to try and meet new people, learn more about companies, products, information, whatever it is. So that's what we do here. It's ATI Auto Business, and it is an automotive business channel focused on education. We're on YouTube. Thank you, John Larrick. Thank you guys so much. I want to thank Rapid Recon, Superflow Systems, Ship Your Car Now, McCollister's Transportation Group, and Ship.Cars. I also want to thank tonight's guests, James Raymond at ACV, Rich Levene at Dignity Leadership, Skye Haulman, One Auction View, and Dave Sutton at Montway. Really do appreciate your input. Ty Thompson, thanks for what you do. Really appreciate it. Please do join us tomorrow if you are looking for live carrier advice. We've got a show tomorrow at noon, 30 minutes with Brian Riker, your DOT guy, FMCSA DOT, building business, carriers, brokers, dispatchers, etc. Thursday it's Dispatching Live, 90-minute introspective into, let's take a look at that dumpster fire in real time. I mean, when you see, we got a 22 cent per mile load someone sent me today. We're going to look at that. What's going on with that? And then Friday, another great Cars on the Move lined up. We got Ben Goodman and Bill Elizondo, Buy Here, Pay Here, with NIADA, 20 groups, Dealer Academy. Pretty good stuff happening there. So please do join us for that. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. Really do appreciate you. Here comes the car hauler. I think it's getting a little bit warmer overall. Stay safe, stay warm, stay educated. Thanks for watching ATI. Good night.